Here we are again in the War Room on Winning on Wednesday. Welcome to our Facebook members. Welcome to our Spotify and podcast listeners. Thank you guys for joining us weekly, every week on a Wednesday, 1800, 6 p.m., whatever you want to call it. We're in the studio today with my man, Doc Renigan, and our buddy over here, Richard Brozewicz, who is a wealth of knowledge in a lot of different places, and we'll get into that. But every week, how do we start this off?
Hey, man, we talk about our wins, our gratitudes, how we became the best version of ourselves. How do we became better today than we were yesterday? 100%. And recognizing those little bitty wins, because those little bitty wins is what gets us over those large humps.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It gets us the big stellar victories that we're really chasing. So we're going to turn it over to Richard. I love putting people on the spotlight.
Yeah.
You
welcome.
know what I mean?
Welcome back, actually, my man.
Welcome back. He's already been here before. So tell us a little bit about your wins this past week, some gratitudes maybe. So tell us what you got going on.
The wins this week is just got my blue belt the past week and a half. Me and the wife both got our blue belts in Taekwondo. We tested about a week ago, so that's definitely a big win, putting in all the hard work and seeing that pay off. And that's leading into my son testing for his first preliminary deputy belt. Happens to be on the 15th, so that's going to be a bummer. But I'll definitely be there supporting him, showing him how everything's going. And definitely the wife is killing it at work, just every day going into work and showing everyone how it is to get up, take the kids to school, bring them home, teach them up whenever she gets home, and then going out to work in the evenings. So definitely have to throw a shout out to Ashley. She's killing it every day.
And I don't think enough people give their wives and moms out there a damn shout out. Like,
yeah,
sometimes I'm a damn kid and she's got to put me straight and take me to school. You know what I mean? So
mine does it frequently.
Like,
and I love her for it. Yeah.
Pop in the back of the head. So thank you for that, Rich, on comment on your wife, and congrats on the Taekwondo. Hope you don't have to use it on anybody, but hey, you got it in your back pocket if you need it, right?
Yes, sir.
I'll go next with our wins. And this is more of a personal win for me, and this happened today. So we have found a new doctor that's going to help with our child and really help him take his whole personal being to a different level.
Yeah.
If you guys have a teenager, you guys know what I'm talking about. And the world of medicine is tainted, in my opinion, in America. I think it's a money-driven society with medicine. And so we found a doctor that understood worldwide medicine and gave us a new perspective on things. You know what I mean? So I'm super excited for that. We're going to do some things, and he's excited. He's just ready to get some personal issues behind him. You know what I mean, and tackle life. So we're excited for that. So
yeah, at his age, man, they shouldn't be worried about much other than, you know, what's going on in sports or schools or extracurriculars or friends. So that's good news, man. Oh, man down.
Hot mic.
Man down.
Now. You just never know what'll happen here, man. There's some good shit about to happen.
Personal win for you is I love that, man, because your family's first. Every time, every day. The rest is noise, and we talk about that a lot here. So business win. So the month of December in our industry, in the roofing industry, is a lot of people give excuses. Oh man, we're slowing down. Oh man, it's the winter. Oh man, it's the holidays. Slowing down.
Tell you what, man, we're going to claim almost 12 roof installs for the month of December.
Is that above average?
It's in this time of year.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, this time of year. Usually people are cranking 20 roofs a month during the months of, we'll say March through August, September timeframe. Yeah. And then you do go into a lull. A lot of the storms have gone down, or whatever the case may be. The fear is no longer there. My roof don't leak. I don't need a roofer. Yeah. That's just what it is.
That's what's so important about standing out.
Yes.
100%.
You know, and building those relationships. So we're excited for Doc's Roofing growth. We have another team member. We added a new truck to the fleet. I mean, the growth is continuously happening, and I'm saying we're not having any hiccups. We're not having any issues. But if I dwell on that bullshit, it ain't gonna help.
You never push forward.
So we're just winning everywhere we go, making gains at the gym. I mean, I could go on and on and on, but it's not about Mike's wins. It's about Jeff's. Yeah. What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Man, personal win is I got a couple that kind of tie into, the quick little description here. I went and saw Metallica
super
last
jelly.
week.
Jealous, man. I wanna
Like
be
off
there.
the bucket list, right? And the coolest thing about it was not just seeing Metallica, but seeing with my son.
Yeah.
You know, that to me is like, that's our thing, me and Caden do. We just hit concerts. And so that was cool. The other side of it is we're getting settled in finally at the new place. And it's like, there are some boxes, but it's still like we're not living out of them. So, you know, Basecamp 2.0 set up. We're running and rocking and rolling. Business win is that we're still continually hitting and passing our goals. We're getting better every day. My team is taking on more responsibility in regards to field activities and project scopes of work. So big shout out to my guys. They've been doing a great job. And like you said, man, the days aren't perfect, you know what, but I don't worry about the days as far as being perfect. I worry about our core values and making sure that when mistakes come up or tripwires come up, that we go right back to our core values.
Yep.
And we talk about what those mean to us and why they're so important in the business. So, you know, we got big things coming up in 2022. We're going to double down. We're going to get the brand awareness out there a little bit more. It's the first time that I'm actually going to invest on some marketing and website and some things like that, which I've been very hesitant if anybody knows me to do that. So, you know, I just feel like not enough people know about the level of service my business can provide and the fact that we push forward, and the tip of the spear for us is relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So while everybody out there is Googling right now, especially this time of year, I'm missing out on tons of work because I haven't invested in that. So one thing I've learned from the PBA this year and from my mentors is, hey, invest in yourself and the rest works itself out.
Yeah. Because what else are you doing with that money?
I mean, it just depends on who you're asking.
Investing. You got to be continuously investing your cash flow. And we're probably going to hit on that a little bit tonight.
Absolutely.
But I did hear you say something, and I think I'm going to make it a tagline for 2022. Double down.
That's it.
Right? The deuce, you double down on them. I think you do that in blackjack, right? If you get a same card.
Man, and to me, that means I'm going all in with everything that I've been working on, no matter the cost.
Yeah.
Right. Because the goals and the ambitions that I have as a business owner are being suppressed now by me.
Yeah.
Right. And that's something I've realized in 2021. So we're about to open the floodgates up.
I mean, and
it's about to go
and it
down.
should scare the shit out of you.
It's nervous.
Right.
It makes
it
you a little
should.
nervous.
I mean, because if it's not, the risk isn't worth it.
Yeah.
If you look at a mountain, you're like, I got that. Well, then that mountain's not big enough. You know, so I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you're willing to take on that risk, because it is scary in the marketing world. You can lose money in the marketing industry, not picking the right videographer, not picking the right SEO people, whatever comes with it, your meta tag, shed attack, I don't know.
SEO,
but you know what I mean? Whatever, however many freaking acronyms that they have out there. And they can get lost in it.
And that's a point of reference where we can talk about not just talking about things, but actually doing things that we talk about on a weekly basis, because I know that's not my world. Right. And while I may have built my own website, any person that's critiqued my website, it says it looks like a shiny turd. What's that mean? Well, it looks pretty when you look at it, but nothing on the background is doing anything for you. So there's so much that goes into it. And if you guys need some people to help you out with that, reach out to us, DM us, shoot us an email, whatever you got to do. We can put you in touch with some trusted advisors to do that. But on to our man, Richard Brozowicz.
Richard Brozewicz.
You, my man, are very busy this time of year, right?
Oh, it's nonstop. The past 2 weeks I've been.
What do you do?
Well, right now, I mean, it's being a CPA. I'm doing everything CPA wise. So it's finishing all those end of year books. Reconciliations. I have 3 audits that are going out. I also have some past year tax returns that are still need to be done, and then getting everybody ready for some last second tax planning. So I've had several calls this week of, it's December. What can I do? My tax bill's out of this world. Is there anything I can do to bring it down?
Buy a truck.
Can I buy this truck? Can I buy that truck? If I invest in marketing, is that going to help? If I do this,
that's my question.
Richard, are you referencing our past phone call?
I think he's talking about both of us right now.
Referencing people in the room.
I have a serious question though. Are you 100% Richard Brozowicz CPA now?
100%. I have been since September 1.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
So what,
because don't just gloss over that.
Well, that's a huge move. That's
huge.
I've been doing tax for 10 years now, and been doing audits as a day job, and then also doing defense contract finance work as a day job. And I've never gotten to that point. I've always been that entrepreneur that's like, oh, I want to go out and do a side hustle. And
We call those entrepreneurs.
that's where I was.
That's right.
And I was like,
that's mean, but yeah, that's right.
No, it's honesty. That's realism.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, do I jump off or I still have that safety net of that day job? Well, then the day job decided, okay, well, we are closing up because we don't have enough business. So we're laying everybody off. Well, there goes that safety net. So it's the time of, do I go back to a W-2 job or go on and do what I've been dreaming about for the last 10 years? So
what was the one thing that you feel like if you had to put a pin on the map right now, what was the deciding factor?
It was just the fact I've been doing this for so long and I've gotten to the point several times of I may need to leave the day job to actually get the growth that I want to see. And I was getting close. So it was either I want to do it, but then being a little bit afraid to take the risk.
Yeah.
At that point of, I have a family to feed. I need insurance. I need all this that this day job provides me.
And you got that Taekwondo bill. Yeah.
I didn't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
Now it's when the day job pulls the rug out and says, you're on your own now. Well, now I'm like, this is the prime opportunity. This is exactly what I was looking for.
So that was that.
So that was the needle.
That was it.
Yeah.
So they popped the balloon and said, let's go.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
got laid off. So I believe that's a power bigger than you that did something that you could never.
Yeah,
you know
dude.
what I mean? That's the universe moving you in the direction that you're supposed to be.
Yeah. You put get out in the universe and that path will make itself.
And I knew this was happening about a year ago.
Yeah.
So that's when I jumped in and said, I'm going to do this full time. Started hitting all the
so 10 years experience, 90 days in as a
full
100%
Forms your
business owner.
LLC. What's the name of your LLC?
Well, right now it's just Richard Brozewicz CPA LLC.
Okay. And that's pretty common in that industry.
Yeah.
Just being that name because
I think it's very much like the attorney and lawyer world where
Right.
you kind of have to have you as the brand.
that's who all of our trust
Yeah.
is in. Because we're coming to you. Hey, how much money do I got to spend? Let me ask you a real question, and you can answer it if you don't. This may catch you a little off guard because I just thought about it. When you get a client and they call you, they're like, Richard, how can I blow $50,000? In your brain, you're like,
Jump on a plane to Vegas.
You got to be, but be a tax write-off.
Yes.
Well,
right?
I can do it. We can do a retainer for CPA services for $50,000 if you want.
Right.
So that would be another way of doing it. But no, this the one way
That's the best answer yet. Get to the CPA and it's 100% tax deduction.
As long as we're doing it for CPA services and I write up my engagement letter on what we're going to
As
do
a retainer?
As a retainer for what we're going to do. And here's all the scope of work that we're going to do. And I can put that down. So there's obviously, we would go in, make sure the scope of work fits that for that 50,000, but we can definitely, that's one way of doing that.
So what would be another way? Let's say the number's not so big.
20,000.
If you're looking at 20,000, first thing I'm going to do is I just want to understand where is your goals at? Where do you want to see the business? Let's try to invest in the business the best way possible so that you can get the biggest bang for your buck. Do you have all the equipment that you need? Can you think 2 years down the road? What kind of equipment do you need that would make you like, man, I wish I had this really cool equipment here to be able to do my own podcast.
Yeah.
To be able to produce my own stuff, but that's 2 years out. We'll buy that and buy the stuff that you want and you need for your business that you're thinking out in the future. This will help me out in the future. Let's get that stuff now so that you can build it into the business so that you're really not blowing the money. You're actually putting it to use. You're getting a good tax write-off. Because when you're buying assets for a business, the problem that you're going to run into a lot is when you spend a lot of money on assets, you're going to end up having to do what they call in the accounting world, capitalize them, which is spread that cost over a set period of years, depending on how long the useful life is for that asset.
This is why I hired this guy. All this shit is like, whoa, to me, man.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. But for those out there like Jeff, can you Barney style some of that stuff where you're saying an asset or taking it out for the life term of this? You know what I mean?
You got to basically spread that investment is what he's saying, right?
So if
Instead
I
of
buy a
taking
house,
you would actually, if you bought $100,000 house and you were using it as a rental property, you would take that $100,000 and divide it by 27 and a half years. And you would get that period 27.5, 1 divided by 27.5. That's going to be each year. You're going to take that small chunk in depreciation. But even though you just paid out $100,000 in cash, that's out of your pocket. It's gone. But in the accounting world, you're only going to be able to take 27 and a half.
Can you not do an expedited depreciation on an asset?
It would all depend if you did what they call a cost segregation on that asset to see if there's other bits and pieces of it that you can break off and say, this is a 5-year asset. This is a 7-year asset. This is a 10-year. that's where you would have to do special studies to be able to break that out. But it can be done. There's also some bonus depreciation that's out there for certain types of assets. Large trucks is one of them, where you're able to take an extra 50% of the value of the truck if it's a new truck or used, and put it in for the business if it's used for 100% of the business.
Let me ask you this, because there's probably a lot of people out there that are like me, that they just want to have somebody like you in their corner that can take care of all of this. Because guys like me, when I have to sign contracts for houses or land or this or that and the other, it's very cumbersome. What makes you different to be able to break that down to the average Joe who's a small business owner and say the 1 to 3 year, where a lot of this stuff I remember being in the 1 to 3 year was like, what
you're in right now?
Yeah, but he's the one that's helping guys like us and Evan and all these people.
Sure.
But what makes you different from the other CPAs that are out there, and why do you feel like Richard Brozewicz, that brand is beneficial to the people that are watching us?
Well, if you call my office line, 972-210-3467, you're going to get a hold of me.
Every time, by the way, I can tell you.
Every time it comes straight to me. You can press 0. It has those nice, cool little functions of press 1 for this.
Yeah.
You can press any of those numbers. They all come to me. So that you'll always talk to me.
So that's a future purchase, because now that makes me think that you're forward thinking, that you won't always get sent to Richard. You're going to want that server. That's brilliant.
So it's all set up already. And so that as soon as I get people to fill those roles, then that phone will be forwarded to them. But I'm also going to be the guy that is going to oversee all the tax returns, who's going to oversee all of the tax planning, tax preparation. So you're dealing with me. You're not going to go to another firm like a Big Block House or some other type of establishment where you go and you may not have the same person every year. You're always going to deal with me. You can send me text messages, emails, however you want to communicate, and I'll be there to answer your questions, no matter big or small. I want to answer your questions. I want to make sure that you understand the answer. And if I have to explain it 3 or 4 times or go caveman, I can definitely do that and get it to whatever level that you'll understand, and try to understand what you and your business are looking for, because I'm not going to give the standard answer. Just go out and buy an asset.
I like that, because that's why I was attracted to you, was because I would be able to call you and you would pick the phone up. And that was the problem I had with my prior CPA was, hey, I can answer this call when it makes sense for me, or I can answer this question for you, but it's in a roundabout way so I can cover my 6. And it's like, no, dude, if you want somebody to really protect your assets and protect your money, get somebody that's straightforward. And I think you have that going for you. So 90 days in, what's the toughest thing you're dealing with right now?
Right now, it's trying to put it in all these processes to be able to automate as much as possible and be able to work with the workload. Because as you know, you're jumping in and you're like, I'm taking work from everywhere. Now you're trying to make sure that you can process the work, get it out, make sure it's up to your standards, and get the client the quality product that they're asking for in a timely fashion. And you have all this other work that's been coming in all different directions, and now trying to get it all out in a expedited fashion has been
automate and delegate.
Yeah,
it's tough to do, man, because when you're new into it, you're just so gung-ho. Like you just want to do everything.
Whatever it takes,
right? Nights, weekends, evenings, whatever. I work on a Sunday. Now it's at a point where the fact that you're thinking already in the automate and delegate, and you got your phone system set up for future proofing, that's huge. I've never heard anybody else say that before.
I'm back asswards.
Yeah. So
but that's a difference between a number thinker, right, and like I don't know what I am, a thinker, you know what I mean, and then structured chaos thinker, right? Visionary, looking 10 years down the road type, right, where you have somebody that in my opinion, I think you're more of an integrator type individual. You want to be your own boss, but I think that you know what I mean, you have great vision and you're going to be extremely successful because you understand that integration process and you already see that you know that those need to happen.
Yeah.
So what is your ideal client?
Right now, it's a business owner that wants and needs guidance on financial aspect of it.
Is there a size of a business owner, like a company size?
I haven't really found the ideal one. I mean, I've done small businesses that are making, 20, 30,000 a year up to businesses that are making 100 million. So it all depends on the owner itself. Do they actually want to listen to you and be able to take your knowledge in? If they're just saying, well, here's my tax return, and I don't agree with your numbers. It should be lower. And you go back and forth, and you're like, here's why it is. Here's what you can do.
Mhm.
And then like they just don't take it in and don't follow what you're telling them to do. Then you're just like, do they really value my service?
I've found that the clients that don't spend as much money with you are different than the money clients.
There are certain clients that I won't deal with.
I'm telling you right now, like this year, I was a big lesson learned for me is that if that person doesn't understand my value and my experience, I don't want to deal with them. And there's nothing personal about it. It's all business.
100%.
Right? Because I have clients that write checks without even looking at it and just says, I trust you, do your thing. We're working on one this week. And then I got a client that's also like, really, it's that much? Like, yeah, bro, that's what it is. Like, you know, you could always call Best Buy and then call me back when they break it.
Didn't I comment on your photo? Doesn't that give me a never mind?
Yeah. So I think the fact that you're learning now, and you'll always, I'm still working this out myself, but I think the fact that you're learning now what your ideal client is going to benefit you in the long run. And if you haven't figured that out, take a deep thought at that and really find out who's your perfect client, because then you're going to set yourself up to a point where, you know, like Evan and I were talking last week in our meeting for our company. And it's always about, in the sales world, getting to the yes or no as quick as you can. Right. And we have some tools that we use, like Mike and I use something called phone sites. And if the client gets that phone sites link and they don't take the initiative to fill that link out, that lets me know they're not serious at all. Right. So if you can get to that yes or no quicker, that's going to benefit you. You're going to save a lot of time and a lot of frustration.
I don't know. If I was a CPA, my ideal client would be somebody that like maintains their bank statements and understands like cash flow. Like, because if I know what my ideal client is, for instance, my ideal client would be, I knock on your door, you've already filed your claim paperwork, you got check in hand, we are both in a win-win scenario. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, I was distracted here, man.
Is that funny?
One of my clients is like, you calling me out, bro? No, I'm not, man. I'm not.
You,
actually,
gotta be real careful.
Actually, this guy's one of my favorite clients, man. And no, I'm not. I won't name you, but I love you, man.
He's like, see, you never know who's watching.
Yeah, I love it though. That's cool, man.
You never know who's watching.
We got a lot of people that watch from the background, and I appreciate those people too. But that's the relationships though, right? And that's what I build my business on. And I don't chase the dollar, and I haven't chased the dollar. And we all preach about that here. And you know, like I said, tip of the spear for me is always going to be relationships. And the fact that I have so many cool clients that, you know, I use the hashtag Black Level AV Family and a lot of my stuff that I do, you know, when people comment or refer me and things like that, because I truly, truly mean that. And no, I'm not calling you out, but, you know, break out that wallet for that theater.
But if you feel like they're, I don't know. So that's weird. So it hit somebody in the feels. And so whatever, we'll keep moving. So CPAs, that's got to be a daunting task. Like, were you just a kid that loved numbers or loved organization? Like, how did you end up in this?
It's
in
a
that
different
world,
mindset for sure.
In that world, you couldn't pay me enough. I mean, maybe you could, but you'd still get fucked up tax returns after you paid me all that money. You'd be like, sorry, bro, it's just the way it is.
Well, I actually fell into it accidentally because both my parents are in the accounting field, and I wanted to be that kid I don't want to be like my parents.
Really?
I was a pre-med chemistry major. I wanted to be in the Air Force building bombs to actually go out and, you know, build munitions. I want to be a chemist.
That sounds rad.
Then I ran into,
Richard,
then I ran
crunching
into
numbers.
calc-based physics, and that basically said that was my limit when it came to knowledge in the science field. So I was working hotels overnight, trying to support myself through college, and enjoyed that work. And I was like, I guess I just bite the bullet now. After I was in school for 4 years, already had my 120 credits in, decided to change my major to accounting, jumped in head first.
Yeah.
And went all the way through, got the master's degree, got the CPA all in a matter of 6 years. And then jumped in and said, I want to do audits, because I've always asked that question, why? So to be an auditor, you have to always ask the question, why? Why is this? Why isn't this right?
The norm is to not ask, right? People get taught when you're a kid, don't ask why, just do it. No, that's cool.
No,
you're kind of breaking.
Audits are scary.
I mean, I don't understand.
I come in and ask you why you bought a freaking a Slurpee on your business card.
Yeah, but you want that. And
you do, but do you?
I mean, no,
like,
you don't, but
do you
do really need it, though.
Yeah, I do. So So that's what I'm saying. Audits suck because you got to become honest with yourself.
Yeah,
you got to become honest with your business.
Yeah.
Right. You better know where your money's going. And I am the worst. My wife calls me out on it all the time. She's like, Mike, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
I'm living free.
YOLO. YOLO. I don't know. Like, why not? I'm like, is the bills paid? She's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, so we're good. Yes.
You know, and I think you learn that as you mature as a business owner as well. Is I was in a different position when I started my business because I just came off like 15 years of like projects and operations. So I was dealing with the money in the businesses and stuff. But I think a lot of businesses, and I'm actually mentoring one right now, a business owner right now that's in a crunch financially, but he's in that building stage, right? So it's hard for people to hear, hey, chase a relationship when you need that money.
Yes.
It's difficult, right? It goes back to that, hey, got to do what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do. But I'm telling you, man, it's a long road to get to where, say, Doc is at 10, 12 years down the road. And you have to understand that we're here to help you condense that. And we're here to help you put you in touch with people like Richard and like Evan, who can help you with your marketing and your money and whatever it may be. So just know that the PBA can help you condense that if you're willing to invest in it.
Yeah.
And invest in yourself.
And it boils down to that last statement. Are you willing to invest in yourself? Are you willing to take the risk? He invested, I guarantee, $80,000 to become a CPA, master CPA.
Easy.
Out of those colleges.
Yeah.
I guarantee it. You know what I mean? So now you're due to break. And I can, you know, if you don't mind getting personal, like where you worked your day job, like were you breaking six figures?
At the end, I was definitely in that mid, you know, six-figure range at that point.
So you know that money, right? So that's a big number, right?
That's a big number.
Like you start putting $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 consistently in your pocket, like that's good living. And
try to do that on your own.
When you like, that's a huge risk, right? Like, and the reason they cut you is because they paid you a lot of money. They're like, "Where's all my money going?" They're like, "Fucking Richard." They
audited Richard's ass.
That's why, like, audits, man, I get fired. And like,
yeah.
You're like,
you make a good point there, man, because when you become self-employed or solopreneur or even entrepreneur, business owner with a couple of people, you don't start year one making what you made as an employee. And I promise you, you make maybe half at most of that. And as you work up to the processes, the procedures, the 80-20 rule, the investing in yourself, that's when you start seeing the wealth, which is not always money-based. That's when you see the wealth because you get your time back. You buy your freedom back, right? You give up this whole job over here, and now you have 24 hours a day to focus on your business. Granted, that's scary, and there's a big gap there. But don't be scared because I promise you, you have it in you.
I mean, 13 years is going to go by regardless.
Either way.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're either going to keep working the same routine day in and day out, right? Or you're going to take the risk, and 13 years is going to pass. Either you're going to look back 2 years from now, and you're going to be super stoked that what you did and what you've accomplished in a short amount of time because you're a highly like sought after person. There could be 1 million CPAs and they would still all be busy as shit.
All of them. Every one of them.
Yeah. Like, no. So you're in a great industry, you know, and I hope you, once you get to the level where your company is on automation, which typically takes 5 to about 7 years, if you do it right with the processes, that you pursue that chemist dream and idea. You know what I mean? I say you don't ever want to lose that original passion that you went to school for in the first place.
That's pretty rad.
To make bombs and drop them on people. Like, fucking put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't lose that.
Yeah. You got to maintain that passion. Even if you're not doing it currently, let that fire still burn in you. You know what I mean? Because you got to, every day you got to get up. And some people are, they need that, like, hey, you're doing a good job every day.
Oh, I need it.
You know what I'm saying? And some people don't, you know, and I'm learning that now with my team and the people I'm dealing with, even with my vendors, you know, some people I can call and be like, hey, where's my shit? And they're like, it's on its way, dude. Relax. Cool. And other people are like, why are you talking to me like that? Because I just paid you $50,000 worth of product. Where's my shit? You know?
I need my stuff.
Yeah. So I think the fact that you're in that industry, exactly like Doc said, man, you're never going to not have work.
That's just trying to get out there, build relationships. I mean, that's what I've been doing since day one. Even last year, just going to every marketing event, going to all of the PBA.
But didn't you build relationships at your day-to-day job with whoever clients you were auditing?
He was government contract
I was a
auditing.
government contractor at that point. I was doing finance, but then also with audit independence as an auditor, I have to maintain independence.
Fine, don't go head hunting government contracts.
This dude was dealing with some big money. I was doing his TVs and some AV work at his house, and we were in the same office while he was working. And I'm just like, first off, he's talking to some Marine. Yeah. So I'm hearing that lingo, and I'm like, that's my soulmate right there. Like I can hear it right
every day.
And then it was just like, so the fact that you can trust Richard with money is because he's dealt with hundreds of millions.
Yeah, it sounds like dollars, that's huge. Man.
So that, a little pissants like us that are, a couple million a year, if even that.
25K. What do I do?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't even know. Like, go buy a boat, bro.
Exactly. So
first yacht.
Yeah. Is that a tax write-off? I hear there's a unique tax credit deal with planes. Like you can buy a jet and there's like a lot of tax incentives to a jet.
That and the yachts were part of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, where there's they put some special provisions in there. If you follow the certain rules on those, this could potentially be tax write-offs and get some bonus depreciation on those types of assets.
Yeah.
This is why he's our visionary.
And then you turn around,
PBA jet.
And then you do what like other people do. You own the jet, but you rent it out. You lease it out. Or you say, hey,
$5,000 a seat.
I'm headed here for $5,000. Come aboard. So we need to talk, Richard. We've talked.
Offline. We can definitely talk for sure.
We'll leave the wife at home. Just kidding. She can come.
Hey, James, good for you, brother. We got a couple of listeners. I'll bring that little freaking shiz up.
Yeah, what's up in the comments, guys? How y'all doing tonight?
James is his business win is his YouTube channel is growing, and he's getting the hang of editing videos. So he's going to be uploading carpentry projects soon, and that's huge, James. We're proud of you for that, because check this out. That action was directly related to a live we were doing, a podcast we were doing.
Is that our boy, the Black Carpenter?
And that's where Doc jumped on a call with James and stoked that fire. And now James is actually taking action on it. So kudos to you. Gerald Bash Bros, hashtag Bash Bros is watching right here.
That's
He's
right.
got two little kids, man.
I love his Bash
Those
Bros
kids
twins.
are so cool, man. The Bash Bros. Gerald, man, good job for just crushing 2021. And our boy Willie B over here, Mr. William Brand, says, I want an airplane. Can I write it off with an LLC? Answer that question.
We can definitely talk tomorrow after our meeting with William. We can definitely talk on that.
Yeah, we'll get a little.
I heard yes, William.
That's what I heard too.
I heard
William.
yes.
Yeah.
Like I hear yes. He doesn't want to give up too much free knowledge.
But it has
bombs.
to say on across the plane, Willie B.
Yeah, Willie B. on this P.
Yeah, man. It's good to have somebody in your corner where you can bounce ideas off of. And that's the whole point of this alliance here, man, is to find like-minded individuals that fit the culture, fit the core values, and are all marching in the same direction. Because if we're using them, you can trust them. I mean, would we want a CPA on our show that we didn't like?
Right.
Know and trust? No, man, because we use them personally. We invest our businesses into him. So I'm impressed with what
and that's where the American people need to come back to.
100%.
Quit going to these corporate structured, quit going to these large outfits out there. Find somebody that you know, like, and trust, that lives in your community, that your people use. Because even though they're a small business owner and you think they're out there making all this money, they got the same exact damn struggles that you have working a day-to-day job, if not harder.
I was
you know what I mean?
That. Yeah, I was gonna add that.
It's like, because it's not all freaking blue bonnets and raindrops and rainbows. You know what I mean?
And I'll give you an example, man. Like, you just went through it. I just kind of finished it up. The whole moving process, just put in perspective for you. As a business owner, a moving process is completely different. Moving your family and your business location, as opposed to, hey, I just need 4 days off. I don't really care what happens with your company. I'm worried about me.
Yeah.
Go do your thing. Stress-free, you're moving boxes. But small business owners, my brain doesn't shut off. I have to physically turn things off. Thanksgiving, I shut it down. Like we talked about last week, I literally shut it down. I didn't do anything. And I woke up Friday morning refreshed.
Yeah.
And I was back to work while everybody was hungover and still turkey days.
Yeah,
man, I was grinding. I was hustling. So 24/7.
I was not.
That's okay though. But you're at a different level in your business where you've automated a lot.
Yes.
You have a team behind you. You got the structure and the processes and all that. So it allows you now to get that wealth of time, like we talk about.
Yeah. I love it.
I know you do.
I love it. So I just was thinking,
Yeah.
as soon as I was like,
Yeah.
my brain just now went, just so if y'all know, I just kind of spaced out. I was back at doggone the River Run ATV park riding in the mud with my family. It's a blast. That's a huge win for me to be able to go out and do that. The weather cooperated. I mean, it was phenomenal.
But that's why we all work so hard, is to be able to take those days and just kind of shut down for a few days, and your business can still function. You know, your money can make you money while you're sleeping. If you want to know my big 10-year goal, that's where I'm at. I'm on the doc level now. Like, I've been investing and thinking, and I want my money to be making me money outside of Black Level AV while I'm daggone sleeping.
Yeah, Swiss money.
That's it, man.
Gotta get that Swiss money. That's why everybody wants to go to Switzerland. They're neutral because they just stacking.
And they got cool pocket knives.
They do got cool pocket knives. Universal.
Hey, Robert, what's up, brother? Thanks for joining us this evening, man. Appreciate you always chiming in, man. He said you got to shut it off. You're right, man. Some days you just have to shut it down. So, are you in a point right now where you're still taking on new clients, or are you kind of going to get to a point where you're like, okay, I have a set number of clients that I want to focus solely on, let's say 50 of them? Is that something you think about in your business, or are you just like, hey, I'm open-ended, I'll take as many clients as I can get?
I'm more on I want to focus on quality, because I want to be able to give the best service to every one of the clients.
Yeah.
So there is a point that I will stop accepting the new clients, but I want to look out for that, again, ideal clients that come through.
Yeah.
I'll definitely take them on. So definitely hit me up if you need some tax planning and tax preparation, because tax planning is definitely something that's an all year event. It's not just it's December, how can I do this? No, it's an all year event.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just need to call someone and say, I'm thinking about this. How's this going to impact me?
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to get that reassurance is what I'm there for. So that's what I want to be able to do to every client. So I am taking on clients right now.
What about you, Doc, for the roofing side? Are you going to get to a point where you're like, I only want this many clients, or is the roofing industry like open-ended? You're just going to keep taking them till they come?
You have to.
You have to.
Because there is no CPAs repeat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm his client. I pay him every month, every 3 months.
Yeah.
And, that's why you can put a set number on CPA if you want to limit your growth, or you like,
because you have that residual income.
Right. Because they're guaranteed. Well, they're not. It's not guaranteed. Okay. It's not guaranteed.
Nothing
because at any point in time, I'll be like, you know what, Richard, I'm tired of your shit. I'm out. Or I won't even call you. 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years. They don't even call you.
I think you're talking about something, right?
8 years. They just fired me. Shit canned me. Fuck, whatever.
You want to share that story or no? No.
I mean, I will. I mean, I had a client, medical staffing agency, had them for 8 years, watched them grow from 5, 10 people. We did their background checks. We did their drug testing. They grew to, man, phenomenal. And when COVID hit, because medical staffing, who would have thought? Next thing you know, they were doing, I was billing them $80,000, $100,000 a month consistently.
Yeah.
For the last 2.5 years. And boom, without a email, phone call, pin drop, they said they fired me. And I don't know if anybody's ever took a hit like that, $100,000 a month repeat business.
Yeah, that's tough.
I was like, wow. I was like, what do you do? I wasn't really, I'm more angry that they didn't say bye than anything.
It's me. It's not you. It's me kind of thing.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I was like, not even a text or shit. I was like, damn. But it actually lit a new fire underneath me, because I've been doing this company for so long, 13, 14 years now, that I think that's a sign, right? The universe coming into play.
Yeah.
Saying, you know what, man, this, quit riding this. I got complacent with it, right? I got real good, right? Who wouldn't?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because COVID was great, drug testing was great, the company was on autopilot.
Yeah, that just goes to show you, though,
growing.
Like, the complacency will get you.
It will get you
every time.
If you're not satisfying your client's needs, no matter how big or small. And so maybe it was just, I mean, I can rationalize any way you want, but I don't have a passion for that business any longer. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just kind of one of those.
Is there an exit strategy you're working on?
A couple extra strategies. One, do I turn it over and bring somebody in that will take it and grow it, and I maintain a silent partnership?
Yeah.
Do I turn around and do I sell it? I know first and foremost, I need to call Richard so he can audit my ass.
Yeah.
Because if anybody's been doing it messed up, I guarantee you it's me. But so far, so good. Never been audited. I've always paid my taxes.
Someone told me like 15 years ago, some rich dude in San Diego, he was actually questioning me about my tattoos, why he thought I wasn't going to be successful because I had tattoos or whatever. And he said, cover up all your sleeves and make sure if you ever start your own business, you have an exit strategy. And I didn't get that.
Yeah.
I never got that until you become a business owner, and there always has to be an exit strategy.
Always. I mean, because you don't want to. I mean, don't get me wrong. You love wiring and making. You love the end result of a home theater.
Yeah.
Right. Jeff did my house like every single morning, bro. That music's on.
Love it.
Like we're jamming. Like I'll forget to turn it off. She'll be like, I'll walk in and it's still playing. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's really cool. If you guys don't have control for, you can actually leave your music playing in your home, go to work all damn day, walk back in, and it's still playing. Did not disconnect just because my phone was gone.
No, has nothing to do with it.
She called me, Rochelle calls me. She's like, Mike, turn the radio off. I was like, it shouldn't be running. I'm in my truck.
Yeah.
Shouldn't even be talking.
Nothing to do with that. Yeah.
And she's like, well, turn it off. I'm like, okay, whatever. And anyhow,
you got to have that exit strategy.
Yeah. I mean,
it's always you got to think about that thing, because if you're not thinking about what the exit strategy is, and this is just my opinion, then you're not really thinking big enough.
No,
like you're just thinking from a month to month. And I think that's okay when you get started, like you're just trying to grind, like that month to month, like we talked about, Evan, where it's like, hey, just eat the elephant one bite at a time. But when you get to a certain point and that paycheck stops, and that business owner mindset kicks in, now you have to start thinking 1, 2, 5, 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
It's a mandatory step, if you ask me.
It is, because you can get burnt out, right? You may 10 years down the road, you're just like, I don't care if you pay taxes or not. Just right. I really want to go build a bomb, blow some shit up. Right. Like that may reignite in your brain. And you know what I mean? You may want to buy a damn Winnebago and just start driving all over the world. Right.
Jesse Pinkman. Where's Pinkman?
I know. Cause he reminds me of Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's like, it's in Louisiana. She's coming back.
William has a good point here, man. He says at some point there becomes a time to hire people and take on the clients that you can't handle. And I totally agree with that. Don't be afraid to give up control. That's something I've been working on in 2021. And I've actually talked to William about this numbers of times, even this year alone, because I want to make sure it's done right. I want to make sure it's done perfect. We talked about the I thing, right? Yep. And I had to take I out of the equation and say, look, this is why they're here, is so they can fall back on their training. And if I give them the proper training and I always talk about our core values, there's going to be days that aren't good, but there's going to be days that are phenomenal, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, as long as your brand is represented well, you're going to be able to make up for small mistakes and shortcomings and stuff as a team. So, yeah, I agree with you there, William. That's awesome, man.
Quick question for you, Richard. Sir, how did that news come to the family when you were like, hey, I'm all in. We're Richard Brozewicz, CPA, coming at you? I mean, it did, because I can tell you how it shook my family when it happened. When I told Rochelle I'm quitting my job, graduated college, I'm starting my own business with your uncle. She was like, "You're crazy." We were, you know what I mean? She was not 1,000% supportive at that time. Today, because you have to prove yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like every single day. I mean, she was scared. Like,
dude, the buy-in is immensely important with your wife.
And she was like, we have 2 children. We were buying a home in Rockwall from Garland. Like, we had so much going on. And she's like, you're so crazy, but she trusted, right? She trusted with blindness. You know what I mean? She's like, okay, well, you already did it. So he's like,
she's like, it's already done.
And so it was crazy. So it had to be kind of a unique scenario for those thinking about transitioning like Richard did. I mean, there's a lot more to think about than just income. It's like, how many people am I affecting around me, and how do I deal with that as well?
Everybody. Yeah.
It was a difficult conversation, but we ended up having it, and Ashley supported me from the get-go. She's like, if you think we can do it, let's do it. I'm behind you. Let's just make it work. And she's like, I'm still scared. I'll probably always be scared. And as a business owner, that fear of, am I going to be able to make next month's rent is always in your mind. But when you really want to be an entrepreneur, you have to put that in the back of your mind and just keep going forward, make those relationships, go to those coffee meetings, go to the networking events, trying to get your name out there so that months down the road, you're not thinking, am I going to be able to make this month's rent? You're thinking about, what am I going to do with this money in the next 3, 5, and 10 years? But got the wife's buy-in. Kids are all behind it. They love the fact that I work upstairs. I am now another side business of babysitting stuffed animals every day. My daughter and my sons bring up their stuffed animals, and so that's their way of being with me all day.
Yeah.
Is I'm watching their stuffed animals. So if you come up to the office, you'll see stuffed animals sporadic throughout there, and they try to hide them so I can find them. So that's just their way of supporting me and saying,
and that's invaluable. That's invaluable,
Yeah.
right? To be able to be there with your children. And I get it. Sometimes I have a little one, and I don't know how Rochelle does it. She works from home, and bless her, man. But I can't. And I have to either. I don't know. I'm just a different breed. You cannot put
That's
me
for
at the
damn
house.
sure. Yeah, that's for damn sure. You know, I think the moment where it was for me personally, the first couple of years when it was the entrepreneur, right? I love that. I haven't heard that before, so I really like that. But it was the fact of, well, this isn't really real. This isn't really real. What we did is we set a goal. We set a family goal that says, hey, if we can get to this point financially, then I'll trust that you're taking it seriously and run with it. So I was gung ho, boom, put that in, got it done. That buy-in with my wife was the most important thing I've done in business to date, because I no longer have to worry back here.
Yeah. Yes.
Now I'm completely focused on what's down the road and where we're going to go and how we're going to get there. So if you guys are starting businesses or you're on the fence of, is it time to quit the job, start a new job, get yourself situated where the game plan and the goals that include your family. That's what would be my recommendation.
That's crazy you say that, because somewhere around December 15th, we are offering an opportunity for people to come in and get a game plan.
Actually, at Base Camp Brannigan.
At Base Camp Brannigan.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't heard, we are definitely doing our whiteboard party, and a lot about what we're discussing tonight, about that vision, about those systems, about those processes, about being true to yourself, understanding those long-term goals and short-term mistakes and pitfalls that you have to go through.
100%.
That's what this Patriot Business Alliance is about. Gathering under one roof, right? We want to grow as a family, right? He's hashtag Black Label Family. We want to grow, and that's why I offered up our home so that you can feel like family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you break bread with people that you know, like, and trust, it just continuously creates a stronger bond.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, just because you got friendship and bondship, you will get mad at each other. You will do something that pisses them off, but we're at a maturity level, right? That shit should have already been able to have disagreements with and be able to push through and pass on. You know what I mean? So
we talked about that yes man mentality. Like there's nothing good that comes out of that in any team situation. If everybody's just saying yeah all the time, where's the growth? Where's the challenge? Where's the uncomfort? Right? The uncomfortable situations is what makes the growth. So
friction.
Look, guys, 12:15. Come spend a couple of hours with us. You know, Doc has been awesome to open up his home. We'll have some food, we'll have some fun, some things to do. And the biggest thing is we want to help you mastermind and put things on the board that maybe you haven't thought about.
Yeah.
Things that we can go, hey, did you think about this? Damn, no, because we do that all the time with each other. Like when I'm asking Doc questions, he's like, did you think about this? I'm like, no, I didn't, but that's a great point. I appreciate it. So get in the room with us, man. A couple of hours, $25, and it's really just covering the cost of the food and the drinks and stuff. Like, we ain't trying to make $1 million off you. No. What we're trying to do is see you make $1 million next year.
That's right.
That's what we're trying to shoot for.
Man, write that shit down.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm not trying to make $1 million, just trying to give you $1 million.
That's it, right? Dude. And it all starts with knowledge and mentorship. And, you know, we all have our mentors and we all pay our good hard-earned money to invest in ourselves. And I tell you what, man, this is the first year in 40 years I've ever paid money to make myself better. And I don't think I'll not do it again.
It's worth every penny as long as you implement what you purchase. But you made me think of a question to ask Richard, our CPA guy. So as a client, right? Do you go like, I would like this, right?
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Mike, it's January 1. This is what we're going to do so that you stay on track. And this is the process. And here's the system to do it.
Yeah.
Right. So that when it's actually your turn to do the real job of going, all right, this is a good expense. This is a good expense. This is a bad expense. This is how much you owe and you do your taxes. You should have it seamless. Right. The idea is to put your clients on such a stellar process that when it's time to file taxes,
it's easy.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You're good. We already know the end result because what we started on January 1. So do you offer something to your clients that says, hey, January 1, this will keep you on track all year long. This is what the expectation is.
I've been working on a process for that. To get everyone, because normally when I sit down and meet with them in the initial consultation, I let them know if we're going to be doing the whole year, I want to at least talk to you in June. Let's put something on the calendar in June so we can get here's where you're at. Where was your budget for the year? Are you halfway there? Are you above budget, below budget? So that we can try to make adjustments in June, so that when you hit December, you've hit your budgets or exceeded them, and we're on the right track. So I normally talk with them. So now I'm actually going to start implementing, giving out like the worksheet of saying, here's what the process is for the whole year. Talk to me, schedule something June 15th, range or June or July, so that we can sit down and see everything that's going. If I'm not doing your books every month already,
Right.
then that's an easy part. Then we can just have a conversation whenever you would like.
Well, just holding us responsible for aren't we
accountability.
Supposed to be making
Accountability.
like quarterly tax payments.
You are supposed to be making
or
the quarterly
something like
estimate
that, right?
Those are due.
Wait,
I
what?
normally hand those out every year with your tax return, so you'll have based off of that year's tax return what your estimated payment should be in the future for next year, and give you all 4 of those payments. It'll have the due dates. It'll be pre-filled out, ready to go. You just have to really put a check in there and pop it in the mail.
Oh,
And then come June and July,
writing that
August,
damn check.
we can sit down and see if that payment number 4 needs to be adjusted,
Mhm.
because you've either exceeded expectations or you've gone below. And
Yeah.
you want to have that last payment that's due January 15th, 2022 for Q4 is the exact amount. So when we submit your tax return, that your balance is 0.
Yeah.
Because having a refund as an entrepreneur is just basically getting your money back that you paid the government early with no interest, and you have to wait until April of the next year to get it. So we want to try to make sure that you pay what you're supposed to, and make
not
sure
a
that we
penny
get you
more.
every legal deduction that you possibly can.
So let me ask you a question about this. There are certain businesses out there, like I pay sales tax on a monthly. The Texas said, "No, bro, you don't do a quarter anymore. You're doing it every month, right? When you hit a certain level." There are some businesses out there that don't provide tangible services, like yourself, like an SEO guy.
I don't pay sales tax.
Well, that's the question I have. Where can someone find this information, or are you up to speed to say, if Evan comes to you and says, "Hey, should I be should I be using sales tax? Like, I'm not physically selling this hat to you." So is that something you can guide other business owners on?
I can definitely guide them. Use the Texas Comptroller's website, and we'll just look up exactly what your business is and what you actually sell, because there's so many intricacies of
I'm not getting away from it. I know I got to pay it.
There's even like bakeries that make something but don't serve it on a plate or with a fork and a knife that can get away with not having sales tax. I learned that this month was the fact. But then if you put it on a plate, you could then have it sales taxable as a finished good.
Wait a minute.
So if you're just
What?
so look into your business, find out exactly what you do. Go and I'll go double check on the comptroller's website. They have a guidance for every business out there.
So do you provide like a free consultation to certain people? Like if they come to you and say, "Hey man, I don't know where I'm at with my business taxes. I'm a new business owner." Do you provide free consultations, or is there a set fee that's like, $250? I'll give you an evaluation on your business roughly.
When we're just doing a Zoom call or a quick phone call for like the first 30 minutes, that's building a relationship to me.
Agreed.
So the first 30 minutes, I just want to get to know you. But if you want to sit down and I'll give you some of the general knowledge,
Mhm.
nothing earth shattering, but it will definitely get you in the right direction to determine if we're a good fit. And if you want to do another consultation, that's when I would say, let's do another hour-long consultation. Come to the house where I have my office, or we can do another Zoom and we can go dive into your exact situation.
Yeah.
And I can give you some pointers. And that one.
So at that point, you're selling your time and your services.
Correct.
Okay.
That would be a consultation fee on that one until we sign up. And then for that next one, that first hour, I can then use that as a down payment on that service that you buy.
Yeah. It's important for people to know that, because a lot of people don't like talking about money. We don't really care too much. We'll talk about money all day in this room. But a lot of people go and think that, well, I want someone's services and I'm expecting them to help me, but I don't want to render any financial commitment. So I wanted to make sure people understood, like, hey, this guy will give you a little bit of time, but at a certain point, you need to invest in yourself and in your business. So I'm the same way. Like, I don't charge for my consultations. When I do a walkthrough at a house, maybe 15, 30 minutes. If I like the guy and we're talking for an hour, hey, it is what it is. That's a relationship thing for me too. I don't bill for my time for that. But the moment we get into a contract with each other, hey, it's a business transaction at that point, right? So
we do for estimates. A lot of people, you have to. But back to that sales tax, right? When I started the drug testing, that was a real fine line.
Yeah, I bet.
And I didn't pay sales tax. And the state comptroller called me. They said, Mr. Rank, I said, yeah. She goes, why aren't you paying sales tax? And I said, because I don't sell a product. And they're like, what do you? I was like, yes, you do. I was like, no, I don't. I said, do you remember when you got hired and you had to go and get a drug test done? She goes, yeah. I said, that's what I do. I said, did you keep the cup? She goes, no. I said, okay. So I don't give you a product. Yeah. And then just by telling her that, she's like, all right, cool. You don't have to pay sales tax.
Not to call it comptroller.
Right. Like there are so many of these different loopholes about the muffin on a plate, right? And that's how probably Lake Point Church gets away with not doing sales tax, because they don't really serve it to you. They just like, yeah, here's your muffin. Give me $2.
Even though it's like a small mall.
That's correct. No sales tax. But because there's all these different loopholes and variations and all these different widgets and
that's why you need Rich, man. Like, he can guide you through it, man.
Like he knows about the new code that just came up about the jet. I'm like, I would have never known that shit. You know, but there's people that enjoy, and I appreciate you, Richard, for enjoying keeping it up with that, because I couldn't. The IRS would call me like, Mike, you owe me $100,000, like sold here, and not even ask questions, right? Because I just don't want them to leave me alone.
I'm telling you, man, as a business owner, you have to get your money straight. You have to get your money straight. Like, I'll say it twice, because if you don't, you may be a flash in the pan and make a boatload of money for a couple of years, but the state of Texas will not play around, and they will get theirs.
Yeah, they'll shut you down.
The federal government will get theirs. But I would be willing to say that the state of Texas is probably 10 times harder on you than the federal. Would you agree?
100%. Because the state of Texas can't print money, so they're going to.
They need our money.
You. They even won't. I have had the hardest time getting penalties abated at the state of Texas. They're like, no, it's against the Texas Constitution, and they even pointed it to me.
Wow.
In the Constitution, where there's those penalties are, they can't waive them.
Yeah.
Where like, Texas,
they're getting theirs. Yeah.
Like, pay me. Like,
so don't time, or else you're gonna get a penalty, and you're not gonna get it abated. I call the IRS all the time.
Yeah, I don't care.
We just give a good story, and they're like, okay, we'll waive these payments and let's get on a payment.
They're printing it as you're talking to them. They don't care. Yeah.
Sure.
So get your finances in order, because in the long run, the 1, 10, 5, 15 year, goals that you have, that's a huge step, man. It's a huge thing, because you got to spend money to make money. You got to cut big checks to make big checks, but you have to pay your taxes, and you have to have your books straight. Always try to go get a loan and your books aren't straight. You'll never get $1, right?
Well, we got the dollar.
Even if the president of the bank is your friend,
we just straightened out them damn books.
Yeah, exactly.
It was, but it is, man, and it's fun. It's a fun ride. Congratulations, Richard.
Yeah, we're stoked for you, brother.
On taking the step into entrepreneurship, becoming that small business owner, to be a part of that American dream. Most people don't know small business owners carry the brunt of the weight for the United States of America.
Oh man, huge! I wish Casey was here. He'd throw some.
He'd throw us a fun fact.
Yeah, about George Washington and apples.
George Washington and his homeboys. You know what I mean? So we need more small business owners.
Yeah,
we need more people, more patriots out there buying and supporting small business owners. And I don't care if they're veteran owned, but they damn sure better be a patriot.
Yeah,
they damn sure better believe in the Texas Constitution and understand that we're in it for capitalism, we give hand up, not hand out.
Never.
Right. And so that's what we really want to grow with, like-minded people, and just continue to support, your dream. I love how you said, I'm not here to pay $1 million, but I'm here to show you how to get $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want $1 million. Patriot Business as an Alliance.
No,
we don't.
We don't do that for that reason.
No.
You got any save rounds, Rich? Save rounds? Like, any last minute thoughts?
Last words? He's like,
use that one.
Yeah, I don't catch that one.
I don't have any fucking ammo.
It's tax planning is an all year event. So call me anytime. Send me a message. I'll be more than happy to speak with you and just be constant contact. There's no question. If you're going to go do something big, call me first. And, I don't have to give you the blessing. I can just say, if you're going to go do something big, I'll at least tell you, this is the impact of it. Here's some information that you're going to need to keep so that you can get it on your tax return. It's just a lot easier to do that than come April 15th. And you went and did that crazy thing that you were talking about, but didn't tell me about it. And I told you some other ways that you could have done it better. and you can't unfix it when it comes to April 15th.
Well, man, we're grateful for you being a part of our
Fine.
alliance, man.
Fine, I'll call them.
Yeah, I mean, we met you a couple years back, and we actually met you through our Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the impact that we're having is I think, more than we ever thought it was going to be, but we just love doing this, man. Thank you for coming, being here, taking away from your family time or whatever. And you can't see handsome Evan back here, but he's rocking and rolling with the videography and some of the things he's kidding. Thank you, Evan, for being here every week and helping us out, brother. Appreciate it. The only save round that I have really is just a little thing going on tomorrow at Standard Service. A little shout out to my buddy William Branch here. He's putting on a little Santa visit.
Oh, nice.
And it's basically bring the little guys, bring the tots, go see Santa, get a picture with Santa, and bring a stuffed toy for Lone Star Casa, I believe it is.
Nice. For
kids. So I don't know too many people, and I don't think I've ever met a person like William Branch that has the heart of William Branch. The dude is like one of a kind. And if you're still watching, I'm grateful for you, man. Like,
dude.
I can't even put it into words. But Standard Service from 4 to 8 tomorrow. If you guys want to come hang out and see Santa Claus, that includes you, Casey. Even though you hate Santa, you can still come and bring the kids. But that's it, man. That's all I got for Winning on Wednesday.
Well, hell yeah. Well, thank you for joining in the War Room. We'll see y'all next Wednesday.
If you can't be good at it. I practice it.
Damn right. Damn right.